In this video, we're going to take the concepts and skills you learned in the two previous lessons, which was reducing fractions using the greatest common factor, and we're going to apply it to how do we compare fractions. First, we're going to revisit two common symbols in math. These are called inequality symbols, and they help us to identify larger and smaller values. We read them from left to right, and this is read as greater than, and this is read as less than. Now, when I learned this years and years ago, when I was in elementary school, my teacher taught us using a Pac-Man mouth or an alligator mouth, and the mouth is always going to eat the larger value. So let's look down below. I know that 3 and 5 is a larger value. So the Pac-Man mouth or alligator mouth must eat the 5. 30 and 21, I know 30 is greater than 21. 8.4 and 12.6. 12.6 is greater than 8.4. Now this leads into today's lesson. 2 over 10 and 6 over 10. So if I drew two figures, and as you can see in previous videos, I'm not very good at illustrating drawings with accurate representation. So let's just pretend I had 10 equal shapes on the left and also on the right. I'm going to shade 2 of the 10 to represent this fraction, and I'm going to shade 6 of the 10 to represent the fraction on the right. We can see that 6 over 10 is greater than 2 over 10, and so I use this symbol. That leads into today's lesson. 14 over 21 and 10 over 6. In the last video, I demonstrated two ways to find a GCF. Writing out the factors and finding or identifying the largest common factor, or using a factor tree. It's up to you. So I'm going to start by identifying the factors of 14. 1 times 14, it's hard to see that color, let me switch. 1 times 14 and 2 times 7. 1 times 14 and 2 times 7. 21 would be 1 times 21 and 3 times 7. Now the largest value in the numerator, that's also down below in the list of factors for the denominator, would be 7. So the numerator, the top number, and the denominator, the bottom number, are going to both be divided by 7. 14 divided by 7 is 2, and 21 divided by 7 is 3. I'm going to rewrite 14 over 21 as the reduced fraction 2/3. The same thing with 10 and 6. 1 times 10 and 2 times 5. For 6, 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. And the largest number would be 2. Dividing both the numerator and the denominator by 2 would be 5 over 3. In today's lesson on page 8 and 9, you will only be comparing fractions that have the exact same value in the denominator or the bottom. All right, so visually, you don't have to do this, but visually, what would this look like? So if you're a visual learner like myself, I'm going to make a shape that contains 3 equal parts. And now I'm going to shade 2 of the 3. That represents the fraction on the left. I'll do the same thing on the right. So I make a figure that has 3 equal parts, but I need to shade 5 of them. 1, 2, 3. I need to make another figure the exact same size with 3 equal shapes. I need to get up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we can easily see that the value on the right is much larger than the value on the left. So this Pac-Man or alligator mouth must eat 5/3. Now, do you need to make the shapes? You don't. I'm just illustrating what this looks like. Once the denominators are the same, and that's what you're going to see today, you're going to reduce the fractions down, and when you do that, this lesson has made it easy. You'll always have the exact same denominator in reduced form. Then we look at the numerator, and whatever value is greater in the numerator, or the top value, will receive the Pac-Man or alligator mouth eating it. Let's try 2 more examples. All right, for this example, we're going to write down 3/12 and 24 over 32. If you're feeling confident, I want you to press pause, and I want you to identify the common factor that allows you to reduce the left fraction, and then do the same for the right fraction. So factors of 3 would be 1 and 3. Factors of 12 would be 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. And we can see the largest common value is 3. So I'm going to divide the numerator and the denominator by 3. That's the GCF, greatest common factor. and I end up with 1 over 4. So 3/12 reduces down to 1/4. On the right-hand side, I'm going to write down the factors of 24, 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, and 4 and 6. For the denominator, 1 and 32, 2 times 16, 3 does not evenly divide into 32, 4 times 8, 5 does not divide in, 6 does not divide in, and neither does 7. Okay, let's find the largest value, and I can see the largest value is going to be 8. So the GCF of 24 and 32 is 8. Divide by 8, divide by 8. 24 divided by 8 is 3. 32 divided by 8 is 4. And we can see we have the exact same denominator. For this lesson, if you correctly reduce each fraction, your denominator should be the same value. Now I'm going to look into the numerator. I know 3 is greater than 1, and so I'm going to insert the inequality symbol in which it looks like a mouth is eating the larger of the two numbers. Let's try one more practice problem before you attempt the questions on page 8 and 9. Okay, 4 over 44 and 12 over 22. Press pause and go ahead to reduce the fraction on the left or right. And after you have rewritten those fractions in reduced form, insert the correct inequality symbol. All right, so to save time, I know the GCF of 4 and 44 is 4. So I'm going to divide by 4 and divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 44 divided by 4 is 11. Okay, over here, if you weren't sure, I know that the GCF of 12 and 22 is 2, but if not, I could write down all the factors of 12 and 22, and the largest number in both lists would be 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 22 divided by 2 is 11. These are reduced fractions. So these two fractions are equivalent or equal. They're just in different forms, and this is the reduced or simplified form of the previous fraction. Since the denominators are the same, I look at the numerators. 6 is larger, so I insert this inequality symbol. At this time, please try the problems on page 8, and on page 9, try only section 2, which would be 1 through 6.